What's going on, guys? Today, we're going to be talking about when to expand and to hire another team member based on what the numbers says. So let's jump into this one. But before we do, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us to reach more people to make more of an impact in the healthcare community. Thank you for doing that. Now let's jump into this sheet here. What we're looking at here, this is called rolling break-even or a break-even and forecasting spreadsheet. No, I can't share this one with you, unfortunately. This one is only for members of Clinic Mastery, whether it's in the Business Academy or the Elevate program. So please don't ask, because I'm going to have to say no, unfortunately. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through this, and you can do these sums yourself on anything as easy as doing it on your phone. You can pull up the little calculator. It's not too hard a calculation. The real value in this sheet is when we're looking at entire clinics and looking at forecasting into the future and where should we go, and using this to create your plan. But let's jump into this one now. So what I've done here is I've just created a little bit of a mock-up. So if we look at this one here, a little bit of a mock-up, we've got an admin team. We got Tommy, Sally, and Jerry. You can see Jerry here. He's the practice manager. We got two admin, Tommy and Sally. They're doing 22 hours a week each. Jerry is doing 38 hours. He's crushing it, by the way. He's honestly, this place would not run without Jerry. He is bloody amazing. Jerry is also Sammy, who was my practice manager, also now a business owner. Fantastic. But I digress. Let's jump into the therapy side of things. So we have Sarah, Jasmine, Daniel, and Benji. First four names that came to my mind this morning. Now, when we're looking at this, what we're looking at to begin with, and I'll talk you through this, we've got an hourly rate of 35, 35, 41, and 44 hours per week, 38 hours per week. Now, often when I start working with a business, we're going a little bit of a tangent here, but I think this is valuable. Often when I start working with a business, there's a lot of people in the team who are working, say, 10 to 20, maybe 25 hours. And sometimes that's because we didn't want to take a risk, and so we wanted to hire someone part-time rather than hiring them full-time. Now, this is important for later on. And I've done this before plenty of times. Don't worry, you're not alone if you've done this. And in the meantime, they've got another job. So now they've got a couple, two, maybe three different jobs, and we can't have them working for us full-time, which is annoying because we did want them full-time, just not right now at the start, right? The issue with this is having, let's say, these four people here, Sarah, Jasmine, Daniel, and Benji. That's four people to train, four people to support, four people to look after. It's just four people. It's not that much. But imagine this. Imagine if these were all 19 and we created another lot of them. They all happen to have the same name. What a coinky dink, right? And if we copy and paste this down here, these are all 19. And we pull this down and we'll have to halve everyone's patience. So we go, what's half of 49? Gosh. 24.5. Just take it as these averages. 25.5. Didn't make my life easy. 26.5. 26. And then we can copy and paste that down too. And that can be copy and pasted down here. Awesome. So all we've done in this example is 16. In this example is we've just had the same number of clients coming through the business. We've doubled the effort. Double the amount of people here. Hope you can see that in this example, there's actually double the work as the business owner in supporting the team. But when it comes down to the overall profit, clinic profit doesn't actually change whether we do that or we get rid of all of these. Sorry, just make these changes, get rid of that, get rid of that. Clinic profit, so that should be 16, doesn't change. It's exactly the same in that example. And this is something that a lot of clinic owners face, is that they have lots of people working part-time within the business. And in order to scale the business to where it's going to achieve their financial goals and allow them to live the life they want and to be able to give back to their family, their community, their friends, etc., they have to have this huge team and it can feel unmanageable. So this is a free bit of advice, not financial advice, of course, but I would say hire people full-time. Hiring people full-time is a better idea, and it's going to give you typically a better result. You're investing in that person, they're investing in you, and it's going to mean less people in your business that you need to support for the return. Now, let's get back on track here because I really went on a tangent there. But what we're looking at today is hiring. And it's a good tangent to go on because let's say we're going to hire Travis. Now, Travis, we're going to hire, let's say he's a senior therapist. We're going to pay him $45 and we're going to hire him for, let's say we want to be conservative and we don't want to hire him and lose money. All right. So we say, let's hire him for 15 hours and he can be on a percentage as well. We'll call it 40%. Right. So we can see that the base salary in super that we're paying Travis in this example is $745.88. Now, if we paid him for 38 hours per week, that's $1,889. So we can see that. So it's about an $1,100 difference there. Now, over here, what we can see is if we go, let's get him seeing 10 clients per week at an average spend of 190, not 10, 10's a bit too much actually. Let's go 7. That's a bit too much actually. Let's go 6. So what we can see is if he sees 6 clients per week in his 15 hours, he is going to generate $714 in this example of an average spend of $119, $714. He's getting paid $745.88, including super. So 6 clients is just below his break even. So in order to break even, he needs to see 7 clients. Remember that, because 7 clients, it's not a lot. I would almost guarantee any business owner watching this is going, I'm pretty confident that I can get him to 7 clients. But let's jump to 38. So 38 hours. We're now paying him $1,889. In order to get him earning $1,889, he needs to see, let's try this. It's a bit of a game here, 17. No, it's going to be 16, sorry. 16 clients per week gets him to generate $1,900 in revenue for the clinic. We're paying him $1,889, which means the business overall for the full year will be making $751. So you're basically breaking even at him seeing 16 clients. Now, in my opinion, and this is just that, it's just my opinion, I would prefer to hire someone for 38 hours per week rather than a 10, 15, 20, or 25, and then look to ramp that up over time. The reason is I would rather possibly lose a little bit of money in the short term, when in the long term, the advantage to the business is that we have people who are working 38 hours full-time in the business. They're committed to the business. We don't have heaps and heaps of people, this huge team that we have to look after that are all working small amounts of hours. Because if someone's working 12 hours in the business and 38 hours in the business, I have to give them the same training. It's the same amount of training and support for each and every one of those people in order to get them to the standard we want them. It's not like someone who's working 12 hours per week. It requires less training to turn them into an amazing therapist. And so this is something that I would challenge you to think about is, are you hiring people for less than full time? That's the first one. Now, the second one is often people go, when is the right time to hire? When is the right time to expand? Well, let's say in this, we'll take this example out here. But let's say we've got a fairly utilized team here. Now, I'm assuming that these are based off of 30-minute appointments. And so that these are all about, call it 25 to 27 hours of clients per week, which means that we've got 13 to sort of 11 hours of admin time, mentoring, professional development, etc. Time to grab a coffee, whatever it may be. But there's enough time for them to get everything done. I would be looking at this and understanding from a clinic perspective, at what point are we happy with someone's utilization? And at what point do we need to hire? Now, a key thing here as well is to consider how long is the hiring process? Because you may be an OT, a speechy, a psych, and your hiring process may be 6, 8, 12, a long time, right? But it could be 2, 3, 4 months. It could be a fairly long time. And so you need to start hiring before you're ready to hire, if that makes sense. We'll always be hiring. If you're in the musculoskeletal game, you're going to look at, when are my practitioners utilized enough? And one key thing is when practitioners aren't utilized, they're not happy. So making sure that we get someone utilized before we're bringing the next person on, and it's not taking away from that. But then looking at this and going, at what point would I be happy? And you do this for your own clinic. At what point here, clients per week is what I use. Some people use utilization. I prefer clients per week or appointments per week. They mean the same thing. We're talking the exact same thing, slightly different language, and looking at, all right, well, what is the downside here? Again, going back to the example of Travis, if we put Travis back in, the potential downside is $1,900 a week. And I understand that I need to get him 16 clients in order to make that a null and void equation. Now that's an experienced therapist. Let's say that this is a new grad, paying them $32 an hour. That'd be roughly about that. Call it 35% here. And let's see what we need to get them to. We probably have them about 99. 119 was what I called a senior rate. And we can see that in this example, revenue generates 990. The pay is 1343. Need to get a little bit higher, 12. A little bit too low still. Let's go 14. 14 gets 1386, which is just over the pay that we pay them, including super. Always include super, of 1343.68. So we can see that in this example for a new grad, we need to get Travis, the new grad, to 14 clients per week. And you can see that for the experienced therapist being paid $45 an hour, we needed to get him to 16 clients. So it's typically, and it's going to depend on your average spend, but it's going to sit somewhere in that kind of range. So what you need to get really confident at is, where do I find the first 10, 15, 20 clients when I bring someone into my clinic? That is the key problem to solve here. If you can solve that problem, then you can confidently hire for full time, knowing that you're minimizing the downside risk and you're maximizing the upside, and you're taking away the possibility of having lots of people who are doing minimal hours at your clinic and who aren't invested in your clinic. And lastly, culture. Culture is a huge thing, and people are talking about it a lot at the moment. It is very hard to have a fantastic culture in your business when people are working in all these different clinics, when they're doing a bit at your clinic and a bit at another clinic. If that's everyone, how hard is it to get everyone together on the same day for a professional development, for a team day, all these kind of things? People will prioritize the work over the team day. It's going to happen. We've seen it happen. It's happened in my clinic. It's happening in so many other clinics I've worked with. So it's going to help to improve team culture if everyone at your clinic is focused solely on your clinic, your clients, and your team. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, my friends. This is a tool that I would use, and this is the thought process I would go through for when is it time to expand, and how can I minimize that downside risk? What is the real problem that I need to solve, and how can I solve this? I hope you like this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next lesson, my friends.